it's Angel Vane, and this is episode 68 of my author's diary. I am an author of crime thrillers for women, and every week I take you through the ups and downs that I go through as I write and publish new books. So don't forget to click to follow me or to subscribe to my channel so that you won't miss when I'm doing another video. Now this week I'm talking about finishing power. While I rock my Houston Texans and my tennis skirt. So I'm representing both sports that I'm watching right now. Texans are struggling, but I still love them. They are my heart. And French Open tennis is on right now. So basically I was juggling between both of those today on Sunday, where I'm filming this Sunday, September 27th. So let's talk about finishing power. I spent the last week implementing finishing power for my book, The Fallen Hero. And y'all, I am done. I am done. But you might wonder, okay, well, how are you so sure that you're done? If you said that before, and then you're like, oh, I got this editing to do, oh, I got this revising to do, oh, I got all this stuff to do. So how do I know when I am done? That's what I'm gonna be talking about in this video today. Now you will notice that I'm not in my kitchen today. I'm not making anything. So no cooking, no making drinks, no nothing today. What's up with that? How did I drop the ball? Well, it's because I literally was nose to the grindstone working on The Fallen Hero this week, and I just literally got to the weekend when I finished last night at around 10:30 and was like, I haven't even thought about making anything for that video. I'm just gonna do a video where I'm just talking without cooking, and I'll get back to cooking later because I still want to try to get my fruits and my veggies in, right? So doing that on these videos helps to make sure that that stays top of mind for me. But what I have noticed, and I know I'm rambling a little bit, but I hope y'all just stay with me for a little bit. What I have noticed is that I much prefer to stand when I'm doing my videos than to sit in a chair. I don't want to sit in a chair. I want to be standing. I don't know, it seems more natural for me to be kind of standing where I can move around and do stuff and kind of like shift. And so that's why I said, okay, well, let me find a place in the house where I can stand up, have some good space, have some good lighting, and do this video. So let's talk about finishing power. Now you may have heard authors talking about how even when their book is published, they're still seeing things that they want to change, different things that they want to do. I actually don't fall into that bucket. So I know when I'm done because of two things. One, I can't think of nothing else to change though. I read through the book and I'm like, okay, that's all I got. If something else needs to change or something's broken, somebody else has to look at this and tell me because like I've exhausted everything that I can think of. And then the second thing that really triggers it for me that I am done is that I get that little bubbly feeling coming up in me like, I love my book! Yay! So once I have those two things where I've exhausted anything that I can think of to change or tweak or make better, and I walk away from reading the book being like, oh, I love this story. Like, I really love the stuff that I made happen in it. And I think it's so interesting, it's so good. Like, all right, it's time to send it to the editor, let somebody else look at it, get some fresh perspective, put it out there in the world, and get some feedback so that I know, is it really as good as I thought it was? Or have I missed the boat somewhere? And y'all know, because y'all have seen the videos from the past where I thought I was good, I thought my story was great, I thought the editor was gonna be like, mwah, it's magnifique. And then the editor came back with like major overhaul issues that I had to fix. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that that doesn't happen this time. So I'm going to talk you through a little bit around my writing process, because now that I have done my written my fourth book on my own. So I'm counting my reader magnet, The Hidden Threat, The Accidental Hero, The Relentless Hero, and now I finished The Fallen Hero. So now I really feel like I have a good grasp on what my writing process is. And so really what I do is I spend time plotting. So I want to plot the story because I am a plotter. I'm not one who just kind of like writes into the dark and the story comes to me. But I have to have some structure, but not too much structure. And that's something that I've learned after writing 4 books, is that really trying to detail out at the very beginning everything that should happen to every single chapter, that doesn't work for me because I don't enjoy the initial writing process the most. I enjoy the revising process the most. And in the revising process, that's when my best ideas come out. And so really I've learned that, okay, I need to plot, I need to give myself structure, but I don't need to go into too much details where I lock myself into something and end up having to overhaul the plot, overhaul the story, because I've come up with some brand new idea that's so much better, and it like just obliterates everything else that I thought I was gonna be writing about in the story. So I do the plotting, and then I have a writing phase where I just try to write that first draft as fast as I can, because I know that the gem, the diamond in the rough, comes out in the third step, which is my revising process. Then after revising, I tend to do 2 rounds of revision. So I go through one time and I kind of revise based off of stuff that I think is going on. And then after that second revision, I'll go through and I really check for my story structure. I try to see, okay, have I hit all of the points and the tropes and the things I'm trying to focus on in this story? And that's when I do kind of what I have called this past, working through the Fallen Hero, my self-developmental edit. And again, this time when I went through my self-developmental edit, I found 3 main things that needed to be changed, right? And so I have a video talking you guys through the 3 main things that I changed in the Fallen Hero. Now, I spent almost half of last week going all the way back to, I want to say July, I don't know, I have to look at my little tracker, making updates to the story because of those developmental editing issues that I had found myself. Like the editor didn't tell me that. I went back through my own story critically with a critical eye to try to figure out, do I think a reader would enjoy this? Because I read books. I can read my own story and determine this needs some work, or yes, it's great. Right? So I went through that process myself and found those issues. So it took me forever to kind of clean up. Well, it's not forever. I'm exaggerating. Y'all know I'm prone to exaggeration. But anyway, so around Tuesday of this week, I finished going through the whole novel, fixing things because of the developmental editing issues that I had found myself. Then I said, well, I told the editor I wouldn't be done until Sunday. So that means I have about 4 to 5 days where I could either, 1, go ahead and just submit the book in advance early of the date that I had given to the editor and just say, hey, whenever you can get to it, I know you might not be able to start on it early, whatever. Or I could use that time to really benefit and go through another pass of the story. And my author friends tell me, like, you try to revise your books to death. But in my mind, when I hand over the book to the editor, I want to have beat it to death. Like anything that I can find that I think is an issue that somebody else may point out, I try to find it and fix it. Because I truly, truly, truly want the editor to come back to me and be like, it is great. I found nothing to change in this story. Like, that's what I'm going for. And so what I decided to do was I added another step to my process. And I call it refining. And so in the refining phase, that's when I'm reading back through the story one more time just to make sure that the changes that I've made all flow through. It fits with the right story structure. I've hit all the right tropes. I've got the right order of how I want things to kind of develop in the story. And then I'm also reading it for sentence structure and how I describe things and have I explained something in the clearest or the most concise manner. And so I'm really going through and looking, okay, well, how did I explain this stuff in the chapter? Then do I need to tweak my sentence? Have I started a chapter and a reader would read this and be like, I have no clue where you are. So things like that kind of help to embellish the story, but it's not a part of the main plot. That's what I did for the refining phase. And y'all, I gave myself the 4 days. So I have a 89,000 word book that I went back through from beginning to end over 4 days and did line by line type of editing to refine the book before I sent it to the editor. So when I pressed send at 10:30 p.m. last night, y'all, I was happy with this book. I'm like, look, That's it. That is literally everything that I can think of to do or to change with this story. That's the best I've got. So editor, have at it. Let me know what you think. That's how I felt when I pressed send yesterday. So I'm super excited with the story. I want to talk you guys now through the timeline of writing The Fallen Hero. It took me 7 months from no idea all the way to submission to the editor. So I spent about a month and a half plotting. Now, I had to go back through, and thank goodness I started doing bullet journaling in 2020 because I have all of this information around how long it really took me to write this story. So it took about a month and a half to do the plotting, but I started plotting in March, at the beginning of March. And then, COVID happened, right? Pandemic happens. And so I allowed myself to kind of have extra time because of all the distractions and everything that was going on. Got the plotting done in about a month and a half. Started writing the book on April 13th, and I finished on September 26th. And so when I look at it, that's about a month and a half for the plotting and 5.5 months for the writing. But I didn't just stop there, because I wasn't writing every day, y'all. Y'all know I complained about August, right? I told y'all how the month of August laughed at me and was like, you think you're gonna have time to write this book? No, you won't, right? So August was like a wash, like it was just like a dead month for me as it concerns trying to write on The Fallen Hero. So I said, okay, well, I've been meticulously tracking my writing progress in 2020. So I went back and I went day by day through my trackers to see, okay, over this 5.5 month period, which was about 165 days, I counted up how many days I actually did writing on, and it was 72. So that means on average, I wrote 40% of the time over a 5.5 month period. 40% of the time. 60% of those days, I was not doing anything related to this book. And to me, that was eye-opening because it tells me that I still have wiggle room to improve the speed in which I complete my novels. And so I'm really happy to see that because I'm like, okay, so that's about 2 months to write. And again, I'm saying that 2 months covers writing, revising again, and refining, right? So that's all of the stuff that I'm doing before I hand it over to the editor. And so knowing that, okay, now let me try to squeeze 2 months and 4 months, then squeeze 2 months and 3 months. So I'm really thinking that way because I know that it's unrealistic for me to think that, oh, I'm gonna write every day. Every day I'm gonna write. Yeah, no, you're not. Like, I know you, right? I have a day job, y'all. She ain't no full-time author yet. So that, that was just really eye-opening for me. And it's very exciting. So as I started thinking about and one, the other thing that's really exciting is that NaNoWriMo is coming up. Sorry, this hair is flopping in my eyeballs. NaNoWriMo is coming up. And normally October is Preptober. And guess what? I'm done writing The Fallen Hero. I can actually use Preptober to plot the 4th and last book in the Hero in Paradise series. It works. This timing is working out perfect for me. Perfect. What's up next for me? Over the next few days, until the end of September, I'm taking a break. I'm not thinking about anything that has to do with my author life. I'm going to, of course, go to my day job, but just consume myself with French Open tennis. And then on October 1st, I will start back thinking about book 4 in the Hero in Paradise series, which is called The Unexpected Hero. So I'm really looking forward to that. So if you want to continue to keep up with me and all the ups and downs that I go through as I write and publish new books, click the subscribe button. Then don't forget to click that little silver bell so you won't miss when I do a video. And I will see you next time.